Are you ready, Ninja Babe? Ready to face your fears, to ignite your passions and break through your limitations? Are you ready to get out of your comfort zone and go after your dreams with unstoppable force? It's happening here on the Ninjababes podcast, the place where women spill it all about self-confidence, courage, and body image. This is where we show our strength. This is the sisterhood where girls gather to empower themselves and each other. Get ready to get rocked, because this is where you come to be encouraged and be transformed in order to live out your full potential. Be proud of yourself, Ninja Babe. Now let's get after it. So welcome. Hey, Tiana. I'm here today with Tiana Webberley. Welcome to the Ninjababes podcast.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going over there across the country in quarantine?
It's going well. It's nice and beautiful inside my house. A little cold outside, so I haven't honestly gotten to get out as much as I would have hoped yet, but I think the weather's going to warm up this week, so it'll be nice to get a little bit more fresh air at least, even at the safe distances from people.
Definitely. Where are you located?
I'm in Los Angeles, well, north of LA, about an hour in the high desert. It's called Palmdale, Antelope Valley. But yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty close to LA, general LA weather, but it's usually a little either hotter or colder by about 10 degrees. So,
Oh, okay. Because I was like, you're saying cold, and I feel like you're in California, so
yeah,
I didn't know what cold really meant.
we're in the high desert, so it's a little bit more of like hotter and colder, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. We'll probably get into some more stories from quarantine like later on, or even just like advice you have for people going through this time at home. But how do we know you? Who are you in the ninja world? Tell us, Tiana.
Yeah, my name's Tiana, also known as Sweet Tea on the show. And I'm from, like we just said,
Yep.
Palmdale. I have been on the show since season 7. So is this my 6th year? Was gonna be my 6th year coming into it, if I'm counting right. And yeah, it's been a really fun experience. I grew up doing gymnastics and then went from gymnastics to pole vaulting and then from pole vaulting to Ninja Warrior. So my dad was the one that actually got me into ninja. He showed me Casey Catanzaro's video back in when she hit the buzzer and broke through for the females. So it was that kind of showed me what Ninja Warrior was, and piqued my interest in it. And yeah, that's how I got started.
That's awesome. You're from that generation of like seeing Casey and then getting going. I feel like you can tell, like especially the women ninjas who have been involved with ninja for several seasons. So many of them, it's like they saw Casey, and then other ones who are more like fresh in ninja, maybe they saw Jesse or they saw you or they
Hmm.
saw other ninjas. So I love when I hear people's origin stories and I can like tell the generation of like how long they've been involved.
For sure, I love it. It's yeah, definitely. I was in the Casey landmark, I guess.
Yeah. So then you're also doing stunt work too, right? How, did you start in ninja and then get into stunts after that?
Yeah, I honestly didn't know what stunts were until Ninja, and I met Flip. Obviously, he was my first training partner in the ninja world. Just that, so through him and Jesse Graff and Lucy Romberg, like meeting them and finding out what they do and that was actually a job just fascinated me. And yeah, kind of started building in from there. Training with Flip, we trained at Tempest, so that's where I learned a lot of my basic like parkour stuff and all those things like that. So it was really good base and start just being able to um, train with him and get going and get my feet off the ground in this ninja world. So super grateful for him and all his help in the beginning.
Totally. Yeah, it's so cool. Like, just I feel like we say this all the time, but like how many friends you make in ninja, and then like how they teach different skills that end up being something that's like so long lasting and like can even turn into a job, or like it becomes what we do day in and day out, and it's just so cool to see how the community helps one another.
For sure.
Yeah. So someone from Instagram was actually asking, how did you get the name Sweet Tea?
College was where it really stuck. I always was called T or Little T in gymnastics, and then in college I baked a lot. I loved to bake sweets, and so I think it was a mixture of that and I would say my personality. I don't wanna sound cocky or anything, but they always called me sweet, so it was, I think, a combo of that kind of, yeah, that's how it started basically in college. One of my friends actually gave me, or one of my teammates on the track team gave me a, sticker and it said "Sweet Pea," and we crossed out the P and put T. So,
Aw.
yeah, so that's kind of where it all really stuck and was more consistent.
That's really adorable. Yeah, I think that it's just so funny because I have so many like random nicknames that I was given in college and like some of them have stuck and some of them have not, but Ninja Babe was definitely unique to Ninja itself. But it's cool that like a name from school actually became like your ninja name as
Yeah,
well.
thanks.
I feel like there's at least in my own brain, I always had this misconception that it had something to do with like iced tea, like sweet tea, like down south, the tea that you drink there.
That's usually what people think. They're like, "So do you like sweet tea? Do you drink sweet tea, a lot of sweet tea or whatnot?" I'm like, "No, actually, I don't drink any sweet tea, but that's okay."
That's funny. Yeah, so shout out to Z Ninja 98 who wanted to know when did you get into parkour, which I know that you just kind of mentioned this, but was that through Flip and other friends from Ninja as well?
Yeah, pretty much, since Flip and I trained at Tempest, and that's mainly a parkour facility, and so we did a lot of, like, basics there and stuff along with our ninja training, so that helped me really learn most of my parkour, when I was getting started with both
Yeah,
ninja and stunt stuff, so,
awesome.
yeah.
What kind of stunt work have you been doing? Like movies or like commercials or like exploding things or like what does it look like?
For me, it's been pretty random. Like I kind of go from gig to gig, which is pretty fun. It's not necessarily, the big flashy movies yet, but I'm grateful for each gig because they're all always just a little bit different. Whether I'm like jumping out of the way of, someone like falling or a car or whatnot, or doubling on random shows. So it's pretty fun. Couple of them have been like Runaways, SWAT. There's a new show coming out called Chad that I've actually grateful I got to. That was my first consistent doubling job, so that's been fun going out to Portland and working out there doubling. And so yeah, it's been a really cool like learning experience. I'm constantly growing and learning at each job, and yeah, it's just been super fun.
Yeah. I don't know a ton about that whole field. Is there a difference between doubling and stunting?
Stunt doubling is when you're dressed as the same part as your actor, and you're subbing in for the actor. But then there's also it's called ND stunts, nondescript stunts, and those are the random people in the car chase scene that are like jumping out of the way of like the cars, or the people that don't necessarily have a character apart, but they're doing stuff. I wouldn't say always in the background, but then sometimes in the background, sometimes, in the frame. So it just depends. But yeah, so that's what and ND stunts and then stunt doubling is what there's like that's the difference.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm imagining that makes sense now. I'm imagining like in Born Identity when he's like I can't think of like which movie I'm which one in the series I'm thinking of, but like, they're driving down an alley and all these like poor bystanders who are like selling goods in the streets or like their carts are being knocked down and they're like jumping out of the way. It's like that sort of not extras, but like those other people.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, and you gotta be those people, like, they gotta be alert. They can't just be regular extras standing around because those cars are moving and they're coming pretty quick. So yeah, you just wanna make sure you have a good person that'll be aware and cautious and get out of the way. Yeah. So,
Right. Have there any ever been jobs that you felt like I don't know, like what's something that really stood out to you as like your favorite job or something that was like I don't want to say scary, but like I don't know, just like really made your heart pound. You're like, "Oh man, this is crazy that I'm doing this right now."
um, definitely my first sort of big job for me, I guess, was working, doing a Disney commercial on at Disneyland, and I got to jump off of the two-story building and do a front half, and so that was, for me, like, my first really exciting, nervous, like, can't believe I'm doing this thing, like, I'm jumping off, like, doubling I was doubling, Black Widow. She technically wasn't there, so I feel like it's hard to say that I was doubling her, but I was playing her character. She has her
Okay.
own regular double on, like, all her movies. Heidi Moneymaker, she's an amazing stunt woman, so it was pretty cool and kinda surreal to actually double Black Widow for my first job 'cause Heidi Moneymaker is, like, one of the stunt females, like, in the industry I look up to, so I was kinda, like, pretty excited and grateful to have an opportunity like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. From the outside looking in, it seems such like a thrilling world, and I feel like so many ninjas or like gymnasts or different people who are involved in our field, like we do crazy stuff all the time. But I had a conversation with Jessie Graff once about stunting, and she was explaining how you have to be so calculated if you're gonna do some crazy move where you're jumping through a window or like out of the way of something moving, and there could be real danger there, but just to like actually really know what you're doing, really have great body control, and be able to execute exactly what you intend to do. Like to me, that is so cool. And it's just like awesome to be able to do work like that.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely love it and am learning every single time I am on a set, it's just every set has a different atmosphere and just different things to look out for and be aware of and know what you're doing, I guess.
Do you feel like that's contributed to like your success in Ninja? Just being able to really look at the course or look at an obstacle and know what you have to do?
I think being a part of the stunt industry has really helped with Ninja and learning how to adapt on the fly. In stunts, every situation is different and you need to adapt to it. And that's like with Ninja, when you're on the course, this is your first time touching the obstacles. So you need to just learn how to adapt. And so I think it's kind of a good training tool in a way, is just being able to adapt on the fly and conquer the obstacles in front of you. So it's pretty fun.
Definitely. What do you feel like has been like something that you've learned either just through your work or through Ninja, like something that stood out to you as far as like, I don't know, like do you feel like Ninja has changed you? Like, or do you feel like even just in the past couple years of what you've been doing, like what is a big lesson that you've learned?
I never would have imagined in college being where I am today. So it's pretty surreal. I learned a ton. I don't even know.
I
Um,
know it's a very broad question, but
yeah, I mean, when I got injured in 2017, I believe it was, that kind of grew me a lot and just, appreciating each day and just not letting any injury or setback like take you down. You can stay positive and focus on the end goals and kind of what I've been like reflecting on a little bit from my leg and being back home again with this COVID-19. I was kind of brought back a lot of those memories because I was stuck at home with my broken leg. And so it's given me a good outlook and reset of just appreciating each day and, making the most of what I can do and not focusing on what I can't do. So, been really, I've learned a lot, like just about appreciating life and just being grateful for what God has blessed me with.
no, definitely. Do you feel like in college, like what did you actually go to school for, first of all?
I went to school, so I actually really just wanted to be a mom. Not just wanted to
Mhm.
be a mom, but like I wanted to be a mom. That was what I wanted to do. And I, you know, wanted to raise my kids and just have that, like, support my husband in that way. So obviously I needed to study something when I was in college. I went to college honestly just to pole vault because I loved pole vaulting and I didn't want to
Nice.
stop in high school, so I kept going. And then in college I ended up going into kinesiology because it was related to sports and, athletes, and I figured if I do kinesiology, I can be like do a personal training or coaching and do that out of the house because my mom, she is a hairdresser and she's always worked out of our house. Like we made our third car garage into a salon. And so growing up, she was always able to work at home and raise us. And so I was looking for a career similar to that where I could work from home, whether it's training clients or make my own schedule, like have a job that I can make my own schedule to raise kids or whatnot. So that was what my thinking was going into college and going through college, where I pictured myself. And yeah, obviously that's changed a little bit. I mean,
Right.
I still definitely want to be a mom and have kids and stuff later on. I just have had other opportunities that have come up with traveling and ninja and competitions that I've been really grateful and excited about. And so just enjoying the ride as long as it lasts, and when the time comes for me to settle down, I'll settle down, but for now I'm taking one day at a time doing all this fun craziness.
Mhm. Yeah, it's pretty, like, incredible just to see how life can take you and just being open to opportunities and, when your dad showed you Casey's Run, it's like, I don't know if you imagine like, "Yes, I'm going to do that," or if it was just kinda like, "Wow, that seems fun, like, I wanna try it," but it's really cool to see where you are now and just, how well you've done in Ninja and just the inspiration that you are to so many girls out there. What did it feel like when you did actually start competing on A&W or, like, your first season getting on the show? Like, how did that feel?
It felt like no other competition I've ever done before. I was not expecting to be so nervous my first time on the platform. I thought, I've competed my whole life in gymnastics, pole vaulting, countless competitions, but getting up on that stage, that was my first time ever on a set with cameras, lights, people. Like, I mean, I've had people at competitions, but the lights and the cameras and the water, like, it was definitely different, and so it was nerve-wracking for sure, and honestly, I was disappointed in my performance because I went down on the 3rd obstacle, and I felt like I was so amped and pumped and ready to, like, for this new, breakout in a way, and, it just didn't happen, and I was just so grateful. I had an amazing family, my Bible study all came out, and it was just so cool just to have like a sea of yellow because at that time they didn't have restrictions on audience. And so they said I could invite, the whole neighborhood if I wanted to, and I practically did. So
That's awesome.
it really, made me appreciate just who I had in my life and who I still have even today. It just like I always, like I said, these past like been thinking a lot these past couple 10 days from being in the house, but I just so grateful just for all the people, like all the ninjas, all the family at my gym, my family, here at my house, and just relatives that I'm just surrounded with, and just there's nothing, to be sad about. Like I'm just appreciate every single one of them and just being a part of this awesome ninja community, and just everyone's keeping each other accountable, connected, loved, and but yeah, it's such a loving community, and not only ninjas, but for me, like everyone that I'm a part of, like just my church family, just doing the whole online thing. Everyone's jumping on board with like connecting online, and it's just been really, really cool and humbling just to see everybody just come together in a way, even though we're all still apart. And grateful for sure. I know I've said that word a lot, but really grateful
Yeah.
to.
No, absolutely. I can definitely feel the same way. It's been cool to see, there are a lot of challenges right now with what everybody's going through. If you're in a state where people are in this stay-at-home quarantine type setting, like Tiana and I are, it's definitely been a huge change. And so I've seen so many ways that like my friends and my community has come together. And for some people it is really stressful. I know people whose family members have COVID and they're like in the hospital, and I know other people who they're just chilling at home and trying to not be bored is like really their biggest concern. But I have seen so many ways that my church has been supporting, my friends have been supporting. And It's cool to get text messages or calls from people I haven't spoken to in a long time, just asking like, how are you doing? Like I wanted to check in and just make sure you're okay. So it's just cool to see how people are trying to step out and support in different ways.
For sure. Definitely. I 100% agree. Someone like, there's all the quote like memes and all that. And one stuck out to me the other day saying like you're not stuck at home, you're safe at home. And one word can change your attitude and one cough can change your life. And it's just so true. And for me, like my mom has been going through, she just had her kidney transplant. So she has had a pretty low immune system. And so we've had to really be extra careful. And so it just kind of really like hit home in a way when I saw it. It's like, yeah, we're safe here, and just we're grateful we're healthy right now. And so we're just trying to pray for everybody and that they're also safe and healthy and those that aren't and just like praying for them and their families and like dealing with that. And so it's just been definitely a humbling but eye-opening time for sure.
Yeah. I like that, safe at home instead of stuck at home. It's so true. Like
Mhm.
I mean, I've felt like to the best that I can, I have really been enjoying my time at home and like trying to do a lot of work from home and be productive. But it can at times feel like, oh, well, I can't do what I want to do, so I'm stuck here. But it is so huge that we each have our little places of refuge, that we can be safe at home and we don't have to worry about, somehow like getting infected just being at home, unless you have a family member who's working in the hospital, things like that. That can be definitely more intimidating and like you have to take precautions. But we do have these places of rest that we can be grateful for and we don't have to worry. That's a good point. I'm glad that you said that.
Thanks.
Hey Ninja Babes, how are you? It's been so fun watching everybody's at-home workouts and at-home ninja gym setups, walking across furniture and like hanging from things on the ceiling or like ninja grips that you have set up. It's so great. I love the creativity. I've also been hanging out on my ninja rig a lot, and I also found some really random like wood planks in the basement that I'm going to like clean off, bring upstairs, and figure out how to set up some interesting balance obstacles in my living room. So stay tuned for that. So we've got some interesting announcements as well. So this Sunday, April 5th at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, Angela Gargano and I, the pull-up expert, and myself will be hosting a 30-minute at-home workout, and it's going to be followed by a Q&A. So Angela's specialty is helping people develop upper body strength, especially women. So whether you're nailing a pull-up for the first time or you're just trying to get your PR of 15 or 20 or 30, whatever you're at, Angela is an expert at recognizing what you could be working on, maybe something that's inhibiting you in your mobility. So following our 30-minute workout will be a Q&A with Angela and I, because I've had surgery on my shoulder. I'm just 8 months post-surgery now, and so I have a lot of insight in what the recovery process was like, and if you're coming back from an injury or something like that, there's a lot of tips and different things that my PTs have showed me, and I've worked with Angela to really get me back to a strong set of pull-ups. And we'll also be answering your mindset questions as well, if there are things that you feel like are keeping you from being as explosive or as strong or as powerful as you can be, and maybe sometimes those things are in our head when we're just not allowing ourselves to excel the way that we know that we can. And so we'll talk about some of those mindset things as well. You can register for that event. It's free. You can register on Eventbrite. The link is in the show notes of this episode, but it's also on the front homepage of theninjababes.com. In other news, a lot of you know about Propello Life because I've talked about them oodles of times on the podcast before. Well, they're doing something different and special for Ninjababes specifically. And what's happening is you can still use code Ninjababes to get 10% off your order on your all-natural proteins and supplements and all the things that you already love about them. Still get your 10% off and free shipping. But Propello Life will be donating money back to Ninjababes in order for us to keep putting out free resources and continue to develop the YouTube channel and the podcast and all of the free resources that we already have out. So I'm stoked. This is an amazing opportunity. Their products are amazing. I already use all of them all the time, and I know many of you have already been using their products. And so now to know that your purchase, same price, same everything that you were paying before, but that a percentage of it is actually going directly into Ninjababes fund for our team of women who works on these videos and the podcast every single week. That money will be supporting us and helping us to continue these projects despite everything that's going on with COVID-19. So it's pretty cool that they're willing to partner with us in such an amazing way. So head on over to propellolife.com to grab some whey or vegan protein, amino acids, everything that you love from Propello Life. Use code NINJABABES, all caps, for 10% off your purchase and free shipping. You'll be supporting Ninjababes and getting amazing products. So if you didn't know, Ninjababes also has a new Stay Sane course up online. So if you go to theninjababes.com, under About and Downloadables, there's a free Stay Sane course there, which is basically a mini course that you can watch videos and follow along as I talk to you about how to stay sane at home during this time, but not just like feel calm, how to actually feel productive, enjoy your time at home, regardless of what's going on around you, and how to really make the most of that time. We also have some workshop events on the calendar. There were several workshop events in New Jersey that were scheduled and planned that had to be canceled, but I am going to be taking that same content and putting it online in a live workshop. So now a benefit is actually you don't have to be in New Jersey for these workshops. You can be anywhere in the country or the world for that matter. So if you'd like to sign up for these live Ninjababes workshops through Zoom, you can register at theninjababes.com/events. I cannot wait to see you there. They're going to be the same topics that I would normally teach in person. The two that are scheduled right now are how to take comparison, and instead of allowing it to be something negative in your life where you compare yourself to someone else that you see and you wish you could be like them and you just feel bad about yourself, how do you make that into something that's actually inspiring, that's helping you set goals, and that's actually making you feel motivated and good about yourself rather than comparing yourself in a negative way. The second topic we'll be covering is positive thought strategies. So what this is about is if you ever find yourself in this same loop of negative thinking, whether it's, oh, I'm overweight and I'm never going to lose weight and I'm always going to be ugly and I'm going to be alone, or it's something more so like, I'm strong and I'm a great ninja or I'm a great athlete, but I feel like I'm just never going to be really good. I'm never going to like actually win a competition, or I'm never going to actually hit my goals on the salmon ladder or whatever it is. This is something how to get your mind out of that negative spiral of thinking and realize, and you can focus on the positive of the thing that you do want to see, that good expectation that you want to have for yourself, but you don't want to get stuck. And Ninjababes, it's great to see your videos, all your toilet paper tosses, what you're doing with your businesses or your families to support the community. It's been so awesome to see, and we will keep sharing those videos. And if you DM us and just explain what you're doing, we can do a post about you. We can feature you on the Wednesdays community spotlight and all these things. So it's so great to see you and to hear from you from across the way. So keep tagging us, keep DMing us, and you can always email us with more questions or comments or ideas that you have that you would like to contribute to the Ninjababes. All right, let's get back to that interview. How else do you feel like you've seen your life change as you've gone through just like being on A&W, or I don't know if you ever get like recognized when you're out, of like people recognizing who you are from TV or whatever. But I was just wondering, how do you feel like that's influenced you? And I know that you do attack life with such gratefulness, and I feel like you live a very meaningful life. Like I don't feel like you're the kind of person who just takes things for granted or just like does things like willy-nilly. Like I feel like you're very purposeful in the way that you live. And I was just wondering, like, how do you feel like how do you feel like life has changed, or how do you feel like you try to live with purpose in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really changed my life so much. I've always, I've grown up in a Christian family, and I mean, it's changed in a way. It's like obviously I wasn't getting recognized and stuff from college or anything, but just being that light for Christ, and you know, God has blessed me with so much, and I wouldn't have any of this, whether it's worldly things or abilities, without him. And so I just am trying to continue to just be an example for him and give him the glory and love everyone just as he loves me. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been living day to day life, and just working hard and staying humble is one of the like quotes I've always tried to live by. My dad instilled in me growing up. If you want to be the best, you got to work the hardest. And so just doing that and constantly just working hard no matter what setback I've had or injury. I just got to keep working hard and, focus on Christ and focus on my goals, and, you know, he gets the glory no matter what.
Yeah. No, it's cool to hear like where that comes from, and just I could definitely see like your mentality of like staying focused, working hard, just like staying humble through everything. So, it's just awesome to see like how far you've come and the kind of person that you are. Are you I know like right now season 12 for A&W is definitely like on hold, but before everything happened with COVID-19, were you like looking forward to season 12? I'm assuming, did you apply this year for season 12?
I did apply for season 12. I was really looking forward to it. Yeah, they canceled it the day before. Um,
Right. Were you I forgot you're in the first region. Oh my gosh. What was that like to like get there and then realize that things were not happening?
it was crazy. I actually didn't know if I was going to compete anymore, honestly, because just with everything going on, and my mom, we definitely were not going to have her be a part of the audience anymore if we were to go through with it, just because of her health. So that was a little bit worrisome in a way. We were trying to figure that out, and then for me, I was like, should is it even smart for me to put myself like at risk of exposure for her? Because I wasn't really worried about myself getting sick. It was more I didn't want to bring something home to my mom to get sick. So, and I'm not good at not hugging people. Like I love to especially when you see friends, I'm like I want to give them hugs. Like all the ninjas, we don't see each other for so long. So I know, and they're all coming from airports, and so I just was really praying about it and trying to figure out if it was a wise decision to even compete. And then the fact that they canceled it the day before was just an answer to the prayer. Not that I definitely wanted to compete, so it was like bittersweet in a way. Like I was grateful for the answer, but I also was sad to not compete because it looked like it. We love competing, and I felt ready coming off of the National Ninja League finals, and then I felt good. I felt strong. I still feel strong. I don't want to say that I felt strong, but
Yeah.
obviously we're still working and stuff. It's just but yeah, that feeling when you felt ready. Like I felt ready for sure, and I was really excited and pumped. But obviously, like God's got something else in store at the moment for everybody, and when that time comes, the time will come again. And so yeah, just being patient and, back to training, and we'll see what happens with the season.
Yeah, all of us who would have been in the DC region, we were just kind of like, with bated breath, like waiting to see what was going to happen to you guys. And then when that happened, we were all kind of like, oh man, like so many people right away were like, oh, they're canceling or they're going to postpone for us too. But I really wasn't sure. And like, I didn't want to just like assume things would be postponed and then I wasn't ready. So
Mhm.
it was kind of like a weird, bittersweet, like sigh of relief when they at least like made the decision to postpone, just because kind of the same thing. Like, I don't have someone in my family who would have been so high risk, but I just didn't know what to think. And so like that in between state of, is it happening? Is it not happening? Should I be training? Like, should I be risking myself going to the gym every week? Because here, like especially like Westchester, New York, like I'm right close to New York City, where they now have over 50,000 cases, and I'm sure by the time people listen to this episode the number is going to be way different. But so it's just so much. And at the time, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was like the numbers were not that high, but there were definitely cases in Westchester County, in my county. There were cases like 3 miles from where I live in that town. And so it was just like all of us would be putting ourselves at risk, like going to the gym to train. And so a lot of people were reverting just to like their own home setups and things like that. But then it's like, do you put this pressure on yourself to keep training, but is it going to be canceled? And so it was just in that way, like you're saying, it was just kind of like a sigh of relief, like, okay, like let's just put this on hold because it's just so complicated right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it gives us chances to, pick up other things or like, focus on different types of things to do at home, different hobbies. So it's been a definitely a different experience for
Yeah.
sure.
Um, Speaking of NNL though, congratulations on National Ninja League this season.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. How did it feel going into this season? Like did you expect to like did you feel like I'm ready to come out on top, or was it kind of like a surprise to see how well you did?
Honestly, I was using it as practice for ninja because it was what 2 weeks before I believe. So it's kind of like a reset. I felt strong and I felt pretty ready. I was just more of like, all right, let's see where I'm at in a way, and like um kind of like just a mentally is more of like mentally practice, get myself ready for ninja. But I felt good. I felt strong. I was like, I know I'm capable of this course. It's just more of like the time aspect, and so yeah, I mean, I definitely was hoping, more females were gonna finish. I definitely expected more females to finish. So did come as a surprise to me to actually take the win when I didn't complete because I thought we were gonna have a couple of females pass me, but super grateful I made it far enough, fast enough, and yeah, I was hoping to get that buzzer. I still haven't hit a buzzer yet, but one of these days I will get one. So, yeah.
Yes, you are gonna get there, definitely.
Working on it.
Yeah, but no, but congrats again. And do you feel like there's anything that you did specifically to get your head in the game and like to feel mentally prepared?
I guess when we were talking about lessons earlier, one of the lessons I have learned like over the years is to not put too much pressure on myself and just to have fun with it. My first year I was super nervous and like I just put a lot of pressure on myself. I had high expectations, which I still do give myself high expectations, but yeah, so I've just been focusing on having fun and enjoying it rather than putting all the pressure of like, I put all this work in. No, I put all this work in, so now I can have fun. Not I put all this work in and now I really have to do well. It's like there's the I don't know if that makes sense at all, but that's kind of where I
Yeah.
what I've learned over the years is like enjoy the work that you put in now at the competition, you know. I might fall on the first obstacle, I might make it to the buzzer, but I'm grateful I'm able to at least walk onto this platform and do, you know, take even the first step on the platform, you know. Not everyone has the privilege to be able to compete like I do, and so I just try to keep that mentality, and that really helps calm my nerves in a way and just enjoy each and every moment out there with the ninjas on the course, with my family, cheering, whether they're there on the sidelines or at home watching online. I got family and coaches and stuff always cheering me on and supporting me as well. So it's that's what helps keep my nerves calm.
I think that's a great outlook because I've definitely struggled with the same thing. Just like my performance on the course before, it's often the first night in qualifying, like I do really well. I make it to city finals, and then the second night, it's like, okay, Kara, go do the same thing and then do better. And I've struggled to like do better the second night, and I think it's just like that place of too much pressure. Like, oh, you did it once, you have to do it again. So that is something that I think about a lot, is just like not getting in my own head, and more like I've just been telling myself like just focus on having fun. And I do a lot to teach other people about mindset, and I definitely feel like that first round I have a great mindset and like I'm ready, but it's just like learning how to keep that like calm and like fun mindset that like continually, not just for the first round, but like every round after that, not
Hmm.
letting any other like factor become too big of an influence.
For sure. Yeah, that's everyone, I think, has their own different strategies and ways, but that's pretty much what helps me, and then listening to some fun music before is also helpful too, kinda gets you a little dancy. Just, like, gets all the nerves out for me. So, I don't know if
Yeah,
that'll help also.
totally.
Not a dancer, I just like to dance. It's fun. So it might not be the smoothest moves like Grant, but, it's they work for me though.
There's no right or wrong. It's just yeah, that's so funny. Is there any other advice that you have for anyone, like, during this time with COVID-19 or just in general?
Well, kinda like what we talked about earlier and just, like, look at the positives, I think is, as I'm saying this, I'm also saying it to myself, is just focus on the positives and what you can do and not what you can't do. Whether it's, studying a new subject, maybe there's a subject you've always been interested in, that you might want to like, take a course on, or I've been doing a lot of jigsaw puzzles lately.
Yep.
And then, yeah, crafts. If people are like artisty, you do crafts. But yeah, it's advice wise, those are like craft advices. I don't know if you're looking for other advices, but one day at a time. I think if we focus too much on, how long it's going to be, like, oh, like 1 month or 2 months away, that kind of, for me at least, feels more overwhelming than it's like, all right, like, what are we doing today? What are we going to do tomorrow? So that helps me, and hopefully that'll help other people too.
Definitely, I think that's good advice. I actually didn't tell you this earlier, which I'm just realizing now, but, I typically have whoever's on the podcast a few days later after the podcast is aired. I have that Ninja Babe come on to do a live on the Ninja Babe's Instagram just to do, like, more follow-up Q&As or, like, show and tell about, like, things that we talked about on the podcast or whatever. So, if you're able to do a live with us on the Ninja Babes Instagram, definitely if there's any like great at home activities that you've been doing or like even at home workouts or anything that you'd want to share. Like I feel like this is a unique time to be doing lives because it's like everyone's home, like everyone wants to see what everybody else is doing. So
For sure. You guys can meet my little puppy Allie. So
oh yes, I've been seeing Allie in your stories. When did you get her?
we got her actually a week ago, a little over a week ago. Has it been a week now? Sorry, I'm like losing track of the dates already.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got it pretty recently. It worked out perfectly actually, because I had been looking at the where I got her from for a while, and the timing just worked out perfect. So we pulled the trigger and got the puppy. It worked out perfect timing with all this going on. I can train her, but yeah,
No, seriously.
it's been fun for sure. She's smart. She's a smart little puppy. She's still working on a few things, but she's learning. Learning for sure.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's like perfect timing. Can she do tricks yet?
She can sit and give me her paw, like shake, and then she can lay down. So she can those it takes her a minute still. She doesn't get it right away, but she's learning those ones. So it's fun.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
great. You'll have to teach her some tuck and rolls or something.
Yes, I gotta teach her slackline or something. Some kind of
That'd be
ninja puppy
amazing.
skills. That would be really fun. I don't know yet though. She still has to learn how to come down the stairs. She hasn't quite done that one yet. So that
The
one
fear of
first.
heights. Yeah.
She'll sit at the top and just like bark when she's scared. Like she doesn't want to come down, so then when she'll bark. She never barks, but she barks when she's scared of something. So it's pretty funny.
No, puppies are just adorable.
Mhm. Sleepyhead
Uh,
too. Definitely a little sleepyhead.
awesome. Oh, I wanted to ask, where else can people find you on Instagram, especially if they want to see more of your puppy?
My Instagram is at sweettee_02. And yeah, I don't have any of the other TikToks or anything yet, but Instagram's where I mainly post, and I have Facebook as well. Usually I just share from Instagram to Facebook and Twitter. They're both sweettee02. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today and coming on. I love getting to hear more of everyone's like background and their stories and like what really makes them tick. So thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. It's been fun, and yeah, hopefully look forward to listening to more females on here. It's been really cool that all that you're doing. So
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. Stay safe at home and definitely look forward to seeing your puppy more on Instagram.
Be strong, be you, and be a ninja babe.